The South African Police Service component head of the Serious and Violent Crimes Division, Major General Mary Motsepe, has sought to clarify that the 121 political killings task team dockets that were moved to Pretoria head office from KwaZulu-Natal were, according to her, not sitting gathering dust. This as the Madlanga Commission introduced a new stream of evidence on Monday that zoomed into the PKTT's 121 dockets. Major General Mary Motsepe, who found the 121 PKTT dockets placed under her responsibility following the disbandment announcement, has rejected the claim that the dockets were gathering dust in the Pretoria headquarters. The Commission further heard that the dockets were moved all the way from KwaZulu-Natal to Pretoria for the purposes of auditing, a proposition that puzzled the Commission's bench. Meanwhile, the Commission brought a new witness to the stand, Lieutenant Colonel Ndate Khumalo, who described the handover of the 121 dockets as messy, as he highlighted the kind of process that would have to precede a transfer of dockets. Well, we're unpacking this now with policing expert Professor Dumisani Mabunda, who joins us for more. Prof Mabunda, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. This part of the testimony and this part of the inquiry, or at least this evidence stream of the inquiry, has really put under scrutiny the internal processes and procedures within the South African Police Service, particularly pertaining to the management and handling of dockets. We heard earlier from earlier witnesses, as far back as the Provincial Commission of KwaZulu-Natal, that there's a specific system through which dockets and case files are managed, and that when the dockets moved to Pretoria, that they had completely lost sight of it, and that they couldn't safeguard the integrity of those case files and dockets. Now we heard that it was for auditing purposes. How much has this process shown us the vulnerabilities within the processes and procedures of the South African Police Service, particularly around the management of something so crucial as case files and dockets?
Good evening, Oliver, and good evening to the viewers. What we listened today about the handling of dockets gives the SAPS an opportunity to move with speed to ensure that there is e-docketing in South Africa, looking at the technological advancement throughout the world, when at this stage South African police services is still relying on hard copy. We listened with disappointment today as to how some of the pieces of evidence which were in various sections of the docket were missing, and they had to be summoned at a later stage to be forming part of the original docket. So this kind of handling of dockets leads to cases being thrown outside the court because of insufficient evidence or lack of evidence. But I suppose this is an opportunity for the SAPS to move with speed in terms of ensuring that the dockets are handled electronically. While we still can have these hard copy dockets, but if we are using the e-docketing, a lot of police officers will be spared from being bribed by witnesses or suspects that wanted to get away from the law.
Yeah. Importantly here, should the Commission find that there was mismanagement of the dockets in its transfer from KwaZulu-Natal to Pretoria, and or that it was an incorrect decision to do so, where likely is the culpability for that to fall?
Yeah, this is actually a mess. Actually, what has transpired should have not been handled in this way. If the process to disestablish that task team was genuine, it should have been handled differently. Now, with good defense, any suspect that is hauled before the court can punch holes on the SAP's side, because they would claim that there was a compromise of evidence. But convicting suspects doesn't only rely on the docket alone. There's a number of things that has to convince the court that someone has committed a crime. But when we look at what has happened, it is a mess. It should have not happened at all. And also, I was surprised to hear a high-ranking officer with the title of Major General obeying unlawful order. You can imagine what can happen to an officer who is at the lowest of the ranks. It means that they will not stand a chance of disobeying unlawful orders.
Yeah, and that's exactly where my question about culpability, I think, finds resonance right now, is around who then carries the culpability of it. Is it Major General Motsepe who executed and who took, I think, charge of the dockets once they landed on her desk, and then thought that she had sufficient and legitimate authority in the management of those dockets? Or is it Sibiya, who we had heard, Deputy National Commissioner Sibiya, who had seemingly initiated the transfer of the dockets, as we heard in earlier testimony?
Yeah, what we'll see in situations like this, officers will try and shift the blame to the next officer, but all of them are equally accountable because they are clearly defined roles. They know what they were supposed to have done. Should the commission find that someone interfered with the justice in terms of the movement of those dockets, such individuals will have to be held to account. But it appears that no one was sure as to what to do with those dockets. That's why eventually they had to be sent back to the original place. But when that was done, the damage had already taken place. Now the commission obviously is hearing evidence from various individuals who came across those dockets, and then they will make a determination as to who is to be held accountable, because everyone will try to defend themselves.
Yeah, Prof Mabunda, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your insights. Really do appreciate it. That is crime policing expert, Professor Mabunda.